Hi everyone, this is Vivek Iani, your host, tuning in for another episode. We are talking about the rewarding career series, and today we are going to be talking about a topic that I think is on the minds of a lot of people, in fact, who are already in the working field. They already started working. Have Has this resonated with you? Like, for example, you studied something, you went into the job, and then you realize this is not the kind of job that you really want. So then you start looking into joining something else, but you don't know how to do that switch, that mid career switch into a different industry, into a different company. All of these things are very relevant questions that a lot of people are having. So what I want to do is today we're going to have a discussion with two experts who are going to be talking about this topic, right? How do you initiate a mid-career switch with confidence? A lot of people are very scared about this topic because sometimes when we don't know what we don't know, we make mistakes that could have been avoided. So that's why we are going to have this conversation. So please help me to welcome Mark Lim and Derlin Chu. Hi, guys. Welcome
Hello.
to the show. Welcome to episode number 7. Before we start, maybe do a quick introduction. Mark, maybe you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. This is the second time on this series, and actually, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a personal wealth manager with AI Singapore, and I have been for 8 years. So it has been an interesting career, and I've learned a lot of things along the way. So I'm just here to share with you guys.
Yep. And Terlin, what about yourself?
Okay, hi everyone. I've been in this industry, finance industry about 5 years. So recently just rejoined AIA. So I'm looking forward for my this career switch. Not a
All
career switch,
right.
switch.
You already switched. Yeah. So, okay, I think the first question that's on everyone's minds is like, how many years did you work in the other company before switching? Some people think that maybe you must work X number of years minimum, right? So, how many years did you all actually work in your first or the company that you joined, after graduating? How many years did you work there before switching?
Okay, I go first.
Yeah.
I actually worked in the marine industry for 2 years before I make the switch.
Okay. 2 years. What about you, Mark?
I was in the hospitality industry for a year. Yeah, before actually deciding to move on to something else.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty short. Pretty short number of years before realizing that this is not what you want. So, was it what you studied as well? Was hospitality what you studied? Was it related to what you studied?
For me, no. Actually, I studied media and communications, and yeah, I had a couple of jobs in the past. I've been working since young, since 16. Yeah, but
Mm.
my first what I would call a full time job would be in the hospitality industry. Yeah.
Ah, okay. And Tulun, was it the same for you also?
No, I work in the marine industry because I studied from this marine offshore technologies. So
So it's
it,
related.
it's related.
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
see what I see is like used to be a very good future in the marine industry until the crisis hit and the oil price dropped. Yeah,
Okay, okay. So what that it was an external factor that caused you to kind of we'll get to that lah, right? So what
yes.
are some of the push factors that motivated you to initiate the career switch? So Talon, you were saying that there was some changes in the industry with oil. So I think these are all what we call push factors. That means it's like kind of forcing you to kind of make the switch, right? So, what are some of those? Can you maybe go into a little bit more detail? What are some of the push factors?
Some of the push factors. Actually, I've been working in marine industry. Then after that, I realized that no matter how hardworking you are, uh, there's only minimum progression in a career because it's like those people who on top of you do not resign, then there's limited slot. So it is very hard to move on. Uh, you have to climb for many years, probably
Mm.
like 5 years to move on to another next step. Then probably 10 years, then you can become a manager. Yeah.
Okay. So it's actually very long to take very long for you to progress in the industry as well. So that's one factor. Anything else?
A lot of things like it's not recognized. Your hard work is not recognized because whatever you do great. They think it's your job, but if you make a mistake, uh, it's all your fault.
It's only your fault. Yeah.
Your fault. No other people fault.
No one else played a part in that. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. What about you, Mark? What were some of those push factors that motivated you to switch?
Actually, only being in the hospitality industry for a year, right? But before that, I actually had an experience, which actually gave me many years ago. That gave me a glimpse of uh, what the corporate world is like and how they potentially can view you as an employee. And maybe I'll just elaborate. Many years ago, I actually one of my first jobs was to be a food delivery rider. And at first it was really great because I just got my license and I was riding and I enjoyed it. But then I started to, when things are good, you always start to realize, certain things that you might not really like. And one of the things I realized was that in this company, if there is bad weather, for example, heavy rain, which is quite common, they are allowed to stop any delivery orders. They are allowed to let the call center know, hey, we're not accepting any more orders. Just put it on hold. And I remember this one time I was actually on the way back to the restaurant when there was a really bad rain. And when I reached the restaurant, I still saw riders, going out for orders. So I stopped him and asked, hey, they didn't stop the orders. And he's like, oh no, like, the manager said just continue, still can send. So I was like, okay, it's pretty heavy. I can't see, 5-10 meters in front of me. Why didn't you all say anything? It's like, no, he says still can. Then just then another guy came in and he walked right past me. He was drenched, and then he shouted at the manager, hey, stop the order. I'm not going to go out anymore. You want to send? You send yourself. And he threw the bag at the manager. And that's when I realized that, wow, after that the manager stopped the order, but it took something like that to stop the orders, and it really made me realize that, oh, maybe the company is not really looking at the welfare, or sometimes their priority. It's not that they don't care, but maybe the company's priority in a corporate world can be something else. You might not be the priority. So that was something that I reflected back on, a couple years later, and I realized that, oh, that's something that I didn't think of back then, that I
Yeah.
only realize now.
Yeah, sometimes the workplace that we are in, when we don't feel appreciated, or when you feel like that you're not going anywhere, you're not growing as an individual, and but the company still expects you to be loyal, then the exchange, everything is an exchange of service. Right, I give you my time and then you pay me for my time. It's usually like that for employees. So when it doesn't make sense, I think that's when I think there's a lot of push factor for people to look for greener pastures outside. Is there something else better where I can deploy my talents better, be recognized more for my ideas and initiatives and stuff like that? So I think that's great. What about pull factors? Were there some things about this industry that really attracted you towards it, that motivated you to also initiate the career switch? Talun, you want to go first?
uh,
Okay, sure. How to say this industry, right? Is actually like effort equals to income. As long
Mm.
as you work hard, as long as you're willing to try, you can earn something that your previous career, like the traditional career, uh, you can never achieve this amount of money. Because when I was in the engineering business, right, probably I can earn about 30K a year. But only by joining the financial industry, I actually break through by 2 times the income just in within 1 year, which is
Mm.
a lot
By
different.
double.
It's,
Yeah.
it can even go up to triple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And it's all dependent on your own efforts, right?
correct.
Okay. Okay, okay. So that was one of the main pull factors for you. What about you, Mark?
for me, I think it was pretty simple. I think growing up, I wanted to have the typical C's that a Singaporean wants. The car, the condo,
Five
credit
C's.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nowadays, it's not so much a country club, But I think the biggest C that people don't realize, and they only realize growing up after I speak to so many people, the biggest C that I realize people want, it's not any of the 5 C's that they talk about. It's actually to be comfortable, and people don't realize that it's not actually cheap to be comfortable in Singapore. I've spoken to so many people, and they told me things like, Mark, I honestly I don't need to stay in a big bungalow. I don't need to drive a supercar. I just want to live comfortably, and for my family to be comfortable. I don't want to have to, take out the calculator and calculate everything just because my kid needs to have a new laptop for school. I think being comfortable is something that really attracts a lot of people. It's just that they don't realize it until they actually start working. And yeah, I think that's one of the biggest pull factors for me. I think to join this career. Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening and tuning in, right, maybe share in the chat what are some of your push factors for considering a mid-career switch, and what are some of the pull factors that's attracting you to any particular industry. All right, so share it in the comments. It'll be very interesting for us as well to really learn what are some of the motivations that's pushing you towards considering something else. Okay, so push factors and pull factors, did they both need to like kind of align for you guys to really make the decision? Did you have to do any specific research before you made that kind of a switch? What kind of important information did you need before you decided, okay, I think I'm going to go ahead with this mid-career switch? Because it's a big decision, right? It's a very life-changing decision. So yeah, how was it for you?
Yeah, I think maybe for me, it really aligned with the push and pull factors. I mean, the push factor for me was also to be able to work in something that actually paid me, like what Delun mentioned, according to my effort. Back in the hospitality industry, I was running all over the place, and I was, working Monday to Sundays, running events, and it never really dawned on me until a colleague that I used to work with, he stopped me when I was rushing through the hotel, and he told me, Mark, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm in a rush. What's up? He said, do you know that ever since you joined sales, I have never seen you smile or laugh like you used to. And back then I just brushed him off because like, hey, man, I got no time for this. I'm busy, But it was something that, it actually got me thinking, is this something that I really want to do for the rest of my life? Is this something that is going to be my long-term career? And this also sort of pushed me, together with the need to be comfortable, to want the desire to be comfortable, that pushed me into putting in the research to look at something that would have some pros and cons in this finance industry, for example. And I think some of the important things that I gathered, would be the bad side. And I think the potential obstacles and difficulties I would encounter. I think it's important that you have some self-preparation if you are doing a mid-career switch, because there are a lot of things that you don't actually realize until you're in the career. So it's always good to be able to speak to people who are able to point out not just the good things, but also any potential difficulties that they feel that you specifically, not in general, would have. And I think it's important to have this self-preparation so that you have, for example, the resilience to be able to deal with a lot of rejection in this industry. I mean, I thought I was pretty thick-skinned, before I joined this industry. When I joined this industry, I realized, okay, I am not that thick-skinned, thick enough, but not as thick as I thought. So these are things that I think it is good that I was somewhat prepared. But yeah, definitely the research, and everything that sort of culminated together in this whole move towards a total new industry. Yeah, that really helped me along the way. That's how I felt.
Oh, interesting. According to statistics, right, they say that over a person's career, people will roughly change about 12 jobs, 12 different jobs. They'll have about 12 different jobs. Between 25 to 65, they'll have about 12 different things, and almost 29%, all right, have completely changed fields. So the statistics actually showcase that not everything is the thing that you join. It's not like the last generation you join and then you stay with the company no matter what for survival's sake until you retire and then you get your pension and all that. I think we have moved on to a space where there are a lot of options. In fact, a lot of people are also considering like doing Grab and doing all sorts of gig economy kind of work also to support their careers as they are going into a mid-career switch. So was income a kind of a concern when you were thinking about doing a mid-career switch? Did you have to think about how am I going to plan my finances and how am I going to make sure that I earn more and not less from my previous job? Did you have to do anything specific for that? Terlun or
Terlun, you want to go ahead with this one?
Actually, not really lah. Not too worry about the finance part. Yeah, because
Seems like you are very comfortable.
so not say like you know you have a lot of reserve, but good enough. I can say have good enough. So right now I'm still comfortable with the lifestyle yet. Even though when I'm doing a transition right now lah, still waiting for RNF.
okay. What about you, Mark? What was this even a very strong consideration?
It was a consideration, but also thankfully, and I think people don't realize this enough. It's really important to have a supportive partner. I mentioned it before. My ex-girlfriend, which is now my wife, she supported me through everything. Even at the start when I wasn't able to perhaps generate a lot of business, in the new industry. She supported me when I was taking the papers, and I think it's not just the financial support that is important. I think having somebody there to really encourage you, when things are going tough, I think that's really important because it is what will keep you going, and you will really look back on that as something that really helped you along the way, because it's not easy. I mean, to put it bluntly, I think anything that can be solved with money is not a huge issue. But there are certain things like morale and encouragement that you can't actually buy. You can't go NTC and tell the auntie can you encourage me? Yeah, pay you some money. you can't do that, but you can buy, for example, groceries. So that's the thing that people don't realize. Yeah, but it's always important to have this both kinds of support. I think that's really what matters.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are coming to the end of it, and Mark, you mentioned something about getting advice that is going to be a good fit for you specifically, not generically. And I really want to go deeper into that. What did you actually mean by that? Do you mean that generic advice doesn't really mean that it'll be applicable to you? You mentioned something along the lines of, I thought I was thick skinned, but I'm not. So can you expand a little bit more about that?
Okay. Are you talking about to join the industry or something?
Yeah. So
on how to join the industry.
when you are asking for feedback, or when you want to understand a little bit more about the industry, don't take the generic advice. Take advice that's a little bit more customized for you. You mentioned that, right? Take what's applicable
Yes.
for you as an individual, very personalized, as opposed to what people say about different career aspects. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's really it's very easy, and it's no secret that the financial industry has a lot of glitz and glamour. I think, and it's very easy to be taken in by this, because we are in the sort of social media sort of culture where everybody only portrays the good side of themselves, or they are concerned with portraying the good side of themselves, and because of this, I think a lot of people maybe join the industry by mistake, because they always feel that, oh, I can do this, oh, this is what I can achieve. But if you are looking to join the industry, I think it's more important to speak to people who are able to give you a straightforward, a frank answer, to your questions, and not just cover it up with things like, hey, Vivek, look what you can do, when you join this industry, because avoid the kind of people that only want to show you the glitz and the glamour.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are not actually showing you what is required of you. It's easy to
Mm.
show you what you can achieve, but not everybody can actually show or guide you along the way to be successful. It's easy to show how successful you are, on social media especially. But what you really need is for somebody to really sit you down to understand what is it you're looking for. For example, Mark, are you looking to be comfortable? Are you looking to double your income, triple income? Whatever it is that you're looking for, they must be able to understand what is it that you want to achieve, and it's not what they want you to achieve. It's very different, because
Mm.
if somebody just wants you to achieve something, there's always the fact that, oh, they might be doing it because you might just be an advertisement for them, for more people to join them, but if they actually sit down, to run through what are some of your aspirations, what are some of your goals, what are some of your concerns, then
Mm.
I think the guidance and the advice that would really be tailored specifically for you as a person, because I think everybody is a little bit different, everybody sells a little different, everybody speaks a little different, so if somebody can actually sit down to take the time to understand you personally, I think that's more important than telling you that you can buy a condo in a year, you can buy a Ferrari in a
Yeah.
year.
Don't just sell the dream. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, we have a comment is from a particular ex-girlfriend, Jessie. Right, so
Yeah.
saying very proud of you, my ex-boyfriend. Okay.
Yeah, she's also here supporting me.
Wow, wow, wonderful, wonderful. It's good to have such ex-girlfriends who are supportive also.
Yes. Just one enough lah.
Yeah, yeah, just one enough, just one enough. Okay, okay. So right, so we are in conversation, we are talking about how to initiate a mid-career switch confidently. So we're going to wrap up as well. So Mark and Terlun, just the last few questions. What's your best 2 cents advice for youth who are actually looking for a career switch? They are in their mid-20s, they've worked for a few years, or maybe they're in their mid-30s, right? And they've been working for a while now. They're looking for a mid-career switch. What would be your 2 cents advice for them?
Maybe Mark first.
Sure. For me, I think it's. I'm talking about the social media culture again, but I think in today's world, people are really concerned with this whole successful image. Or maybe it's a Singaporean thing that they always want to feel that they are up there or they are better than their peers, or at least on par. But this makes everybody, from what I realized, afraid to fail. But if you don't fail, you won't actually learn. It's the same thing with for lack of a better example, ex-girlfriends. The reason they're ex-girlfriends, is because maybe they didn't suit the job description, and you learn from that, because you
Yeah,
won't look for the same type of
correct.
ex-girlfriend again, because you already learned from that, and you learn that by failing in their relationship. But people are always afraid to fail. But I think if you're young, and you're able to sort of be open-minded to a new career switch, I think not being afraid to fail really takes really helps you along the way, I think, because it becomes you're not as cautious, but you
Mm,
are you are ready to take what I call calculated risk for a better future, a better career. And I think the simplest way to put it, I've seen somebody ever mention, is that I just want to be so comfortable that when I go to order something in the restaurant, I don't even look at the price. I just order what I feel like,
mm,
So
mm.
yeah, that's something that I think I keep in mind for people that are looking to join the industry.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Talun, what would your advice be?
Okay, if you're thinking of insurance industry, I think it's one of the best lah. So that you can actually, how to say, this industry actually can help you to retire early, uh, easily compared to those traditional industry lah. But probably you can like retire 10 years before normal traditional industry. Then also, but we can own self manage our own time. Like
Mm,
I never ever thought of this thing like going shopping mall in the mid of like noon or 3 p.m. When you
yeah,
are in the traditional industry, right, you never have that kind of benefit. I can say lah, unless you
luxury.
are doing some purchasing. Yeah,
Yeah.
but for this industry, right, one thing is very important is that uh, self-discipline and time management is very important, because
Mm.
you have a lot of time, extra time to spend, but you need to discipline yourself. If not, it will it will not help you in this industry. Yeah,
Mm, mm, mm.
that's the thing that I need to share with you.
Right. So having a lot of self-discipline, not being afraid to fail, and being willing to, take a leap of faith, right? If I can say that as well, on yourself, so
Yes.
that you can really see what you want. Now, if someone is looking to initiate that kind of a mid-career switch into the financial industry, how can they go about it? Is there a specific thing that they need to do, look up, research, or identify before they take that switch, make that switch? Yeah.
Probably you can have a coffee with me.
Okay.
Yeah, coffee on me.
Okay. What
Yeah,
else?
we can do some sharings. Then after that, because we have a very good mentor in the team, they can
Mhm.
do a guidance. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Mark.
I think something that would really be helpful, is to. I mean, the QR code is still up there for the
Yeah.
Enneagram profiling test,
Yes.
and I think it really helps to understand your personality better, and that can really help you to maybe get some uh, character specific, or some personalized advice with regards to
Personality
how you
specific.
might, yeah, how you might, react or be in a sales industry. And that would really be helpful, because that would be something that is really specifically for you. It's not so much about generic advice anymore. Yeah, so that would be
Mm.
some of the best ways to go forward with, I think.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Sounds
So
great.
do
Yes.
sign on, do scan on the QR code to get more information on the anagram. Yeah, it
All
helps.
right.
It really helps.
Okay. So for those of you who are watching, scan the QR code, right, and fill in a form. You'll also be put into a lucky draw where you can win a lot of attractive prizes like Grab vouchers, Starbucks vouchers, and one lucky person will also go home with AirPods, right? The Apple AirPods as well. We'll be releasing the lucky winner end of September. So do apply now so that you don't miss out on this lucky draw. And at the same time, think about this. If you want to do any kind of a career switch, it's very important to first understand who you are, what you want, and what direction you want to bring your life in, and what that comfortable means to you, right? What is comfortable for you? Is it more time, or is it more money, or is it more passion in the work that you're doing to see more impact? Everyone has a different set of comfortable for them. So you really need to know what works for you, and the personality profiling test can actually give you a lot of insights about who you are, what are your strengths, and what are the things that you will naturally gravitate towards. So do scan the QR code, fill in the form. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on this conversation about how to initiate a mid-career switch with confidence. I think once they really understand what's in it for them, you have a better understanding of what is there behind that veil of uncertainty. You really get to see, okay, these are all calculated risks, and I can give myself this kind of a timeline to hit this kind of goals. It really makes it a lot more easier to make that kind of a switch, regardless of which industry you are looking to join. Okay, I think with that, we're going to end this conversation. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Please remember to scan the QR code if you want to be part of the personality profiling test and coaching that will be provided for you. It's all complimentary and free, so don't forget to scan the QR code. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Remember to like and subscribe the YouTube channel.
Oh, yes. If you're also watching this, please make sure you
Yeah.
also subscribe to all of our previous episodes as well. We have all our episodes recorded on YouTube channel, so do check them out. We have topics over on ghosting, on finding your passion. We have all the different interesting topics that we believe will be very useful for you if you're in your 20s and 30s. Okay, with that, I'm signing off. This is Vivek Yani, Mark, and Talun. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.